Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to a new episode of When You're Delusional, You're Gonna Be on TikTok. I do hope you're gonna enjoy the video, so let's just get into it.
Not every buyer can afford the price. So think about this concept. You as a lady value yourself at a really high price. So if you want princess treatment, behave and set the mindset that you are a princess. Your value is so high, okay? You place your worth based off your characteristics, your morals, and what you attract the right buyers. Now, of course, there might be guys that watch this and say, just because a woman values herself super high doesn't mean that I do. And that's okay. Because like I said, not every buyer can afford the purchase. What one buyer can afford, the next buyer can. Your value is based on the way you carry yourself and the choices that you make. So how you treat yourself is how he will end up treating you. Now, trust me, okay? Take it from me. A man loves a woman that allows him to be in his masculine energy and demands respect for herself. Like, your fingers should never touch the car door when you're with him, ever. You are a princess and we don't tolerate the bare minimum. And if you ever feel weird, like demanding this type of treatment, I want you to remember this one thing. When a man goes for looks, nobody bats an eye. And when a woman demands respect, everybody all of a sudden gasps. So continue to demand that type of treatment. You are the prize. You are worth the competition and the effort.
It's not always that the buyer can't afford the price. Sometimes the product that you're trying to buy doesn't justify the price. I drive a 2003 Ford. Yes, it still runs. I'm just as surprised as you are. But my point is this. If I'm gonna try to sell the car, I can never ask $20,000 for it. And it's not that I can never find someone who will afford to pay $20,000 for a car. It's simply that because it's not worth that money. And how do you even connect a man going for looks and a woman demanding respect? I can see you try to make the argument that a man goes for looks and the woman goes for money. But you demanding respect got nothing to do with it. And it's pretty much got everything to do with you need to earn that respect. Shocker, I know.
I've been single for 6.5 years, and a very common question has been, do you want a relationship? To which my favourite reply is, it depends what type. It's a common mistake to think that being in a relationship and being single are in any way comparative. Of course, individuals have their own experiences, but there are as many ways to be single as there are types of relationship, which of course relies on the relationship you build with yourself and with other people, which again, there's lots of ways to do. I don't really care for the labels of being single or in a relationship as much as I do my spiritual, mental, emotional well-being and fulfillment while having those experiences. So if you're asking me if I'd rather have a relationship for the sake of having a relationship, the simple answer is no. Because to trade everything I have, it really depends what type.
It is in fact a simple question. It's actually that simple that it requires a yes or no answer. What do you think people mean when they ask you if you want a relationship? You want a bad relationship or a good relationship? No. They're asking you if you want a long-term relationship. And the answer should be yes. And you made it yourself pretty clear. The answer is yes. Everything else was just for you to hear yourself speak.
You made me get up and kind of fill in my eyebrows for this one, babe. For context, I asked her if she would rather be, the last man on earth with a bunch of women or the last woman on earth with a bunch of men. And this was her response. Now, we all know that this ain't the truth. Not that she feels that way or that it's the literal truth. Because for one, ain't no way that you think in a world where you're the only woman left that you're going to be protected from violence from other men, by other men. If you are the last woman on earth, that means you are a rarity and a commodity, and that means that they will fight over you. They won't fight to protect you, they will fight to get you.
Yes, and you find yourself the strongest and he'll make sure you're protected. You asked her, she gave you her answer, but you just don't agree with her answer. And you made a video because you got hurt that you didn't get the answer that you wanted. If you can't handle a different opinion than yours, stop asking others for their opinions. It's that easy. Saves you from getting your feelings hurt.
Ladies, here's how men ghost you. Number one, they say that they're sick. Maybe they haven't texted you for a few days, and then after a few days, oh my god, sorry, I was just so sick. Were all your fingers broken? Were you sick in your fingers? When you're sick, all you do is sit on your phone. Number one. And you'll be like, oh my god, feel better. And then he'll be super busy to catch up on all the things he missed when he was sick. Oh my god, I'm just so busy, I missed so many things, I'm really stressed out. Short responses, it usually is you asking them like, hey, what's up, how are you feeling? If his favorite actor or schmexual star DM'd him, you know he would answer in 0.5 seconds. He's ghosting you. And he's trash at communication. What you do next is up to you. You can call it out or just cut your losses. Ghost them back, wait until they circle back one day and then say, oops, sorry. No.
Okay, number one was he was sick. I was expecting a list. You can have a list with just one item on it. And apparently you have no idea what ghosting is. If he's talking to you, he's not ghosting you. This is what ghosting looks like.
We need to stop this narrative that men marry whatever woman is in front of them whenever they're ready to marry, because that's simply not true. And that is so obviously a way for women to cope with the fact that they weren't picked. We live in a patriarchal society, and in patriarchy, there are two ways in which a woman is valued. One, by how attractive she is according to the patriarchal standards, and two, by whether or not she was picked by a man. So our internalized misogyny is basically telling us that if a guy chose to marry another woman but not you, she's literally more valuable than you. So it's much less hurtful for us and our internalized misogyny to think that it's timing, the universe, the fact that the girl that he chose is probably low maintenance. It's so much easier and less hurtful for us to blame everything else other than the fact that he simply did not pick us. If a guy wants to marry you, it doesn't matter how old he is, at what point in his life he is, at what point in his career he is, where in the world you are. He will find a way and he will propose to you. And if you say no, he will threaten to off himself. So we were simply not picked. And that's okay. What we need to change is this narrative that being picked by a man is our end goal in life as women. Or stop acting as if being picked by a guy is such a great achievement. Men marry whatever women they want to marry. And that is as simple as that. It's not that the woman he married is a plain Jane. It's not that she was a wonder bread. He simply wanted to marry her. And he did. And that does not determine her value or your value. There are better things in life than men.
But obviously you're not one of them. A man didn't marry her because she had more value. No, she was just better than you in every way. But let me know what you guys think, cause I'm done with this for the day. Thank you again to all of you watching. Stay safe and I will see you in the next one.